are we supposed to start the podcast?
You didn't count.
I know, but that might have been my best clap ever.
You've got to count.
That might have been, okay. 1, 2, 3. That.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. Okay. Last Friday, we put out a little tidbit about the Republican dynamic duo in Florida that pals around with Governor DeSantis, whom I've had it like to refer to as Governor Kitten Heels or Kitten Hill, either one. I switch it back and forth. A little tidbit came out. So, there was the menage a trois that they had.
Right. Consensual, allegedly.
The first time.
Right.
Consensual. And then the gal that canceled the menage a trois, with whom Christian was accused of sexually assaulting at a later date. When Bridget canceled the threesome, Christian, who's the chairman of the Florida Republican Party, texted the other woman and said, "Do you still want to hook up?" And she says, "No, I'm mainly in it for her," which would be the Moms for Liberty. So we were kind of pontificating and trying to deduce if lesbian activity went on from the anti-gay Moms of Liberty woman. And here's the thing I have to say. Her name's Bridget Ziegler. And what I have to say, Bridget, is we're fine with you being gay.
Right. We don't care.
We're going to advocate for your right to do gay stuff.
Right.
Because it's your life and you can be private about it. But since you're parading around Florida, banning books and promoting anti-LGBTQIA plus bigotry, then we're going to talk about your gay sex ad nauseum.
Right. Because the bigger the hypocrite you are, sounding the alarm about marginalized groups, when you get caught in your own shit, obviously we're petty enough to bring it up.
You're on the watch list, Bridget.
Oh, I think she's past the watch list.
Moms for Lesbianism. Coming out of the great state of Florida, despite all of the anti-gay legislation that's been going on there, which is interesting, isn't it?
It hasn't gone away, despite all this
Kitten Hill has been so busy pushing out all of this anti-gay legislation and rhetoric, and one of his own on the Disney board is gay.
Who knew?
All right. Anyway, speaking of gay Republicans,
that are hypocrites.
There's this guy named Matt Schlapp, and he is the head of CPAC, which is the Conservative Political Action. I think that's what it's called.
Political Action Committee.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, Matt, of course, pals around with Donald Trump.
Right.
And all of them. Ted Cruz, just an all-star lineup of fucking morons. Matt Schlapp, he's right there with all of them, all right? So he was accused in October of 2022 of sexual assault, of groping a man's genitals, a fellow Republican. This guy is filing suit against the head of CPAC, which, Republican Party, Koch brothers, all that stuff. So the Washington Post releases a story over the weekend that wasn't the only time. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
So in one alleged incident during a fundraising trip to South Florida in early 2022, Schlapp was accused of stripping to his underwear and rubbing against another person without his consent, according to the filing. And then in 2017, at a CPAC after party, Schlapp attempted to kiss an employee against his wishes. So what I find interesting about this is, number one, this doesn't sound very family values to me.
Does not sound like running around in your underwear with coworkers.
Number two, unlike the Republican Party, we oppose sexual assault.
Yes, we do.
It seems like the Republican Party is all about it. We've got Trump.
Right, who likes to grab him by the P word.
Bridget's husband, Christian, sexually assaulted a woman. And then we also have now here Matt Schlapp. And what pisses me off about this for Matt Schlapp is not only is he clearly in the closet homosexual, but being in the closet, he's a predator, which totally tarnishes the LGBTQIA plus movement, because what these Republicans are going to start thinking now is they're going to equate the two. And as we know, that is a false equivalency.
Right.
Because Matt Schlapp is clearly a predator.
Well, from what I've read about it, the Republican, the CPAC was very well aware of these allegations and had gotten numerous of them over the years and completely ignored it. So it's cover-up city over there.
That's what I was just about to get to. The report also states that both victims reported the incidents to CPAC execs, but no action was taken as officials looked the other way. Sounds a little Catholic Churchish to me.
Oh, the misogyny, the arrogance, the superiority, it's just rampant over there.
So here's the thing. This is, you got the Republican Party in Florida, you got the CPAC, and these are the people that claim the moral high ground. And these are the people that want to feel like tough guys for picking on the LGBTQIA plus community. They want to ban books. And, you know, I always think, how are these people that seem to be such Bible thumpers, how do they like Donald Trump so much? What I realize is they like him because they are him.
Right.
The grabber by the pussy and all that shit, they do the same thing.
Right.
They
just
like
hide
it. And they have now they all say, don't apologize. We have a no apology policy. So today's GOP, particularly in Ron DeSantis's, AKA Governor Kittenhill's Florida, is nothing short than a sexual predatorial cult, as far as I'm concerned. And these laws are doing nothing to help anybody or make anybody safer.
No, they're not. They're not going to change transgender behavior. They're not going to change gay behavior. They're not going to make
First of all, those weren't behaviors.
No, I know, but I mean...
Right, but I mean, trans people existed prior
forever
to all of this,
gay
during this,
forever.
and will continue after
There's
this.
no law that's going to legislate.
All it's going to do is harm these communities. And the hypocrisy is so breathtaking, but to me, it tells you exactly why they like Donald Trump and why the wives, the internalized misogyny, support him too, because their husbands do this kind of crap.
Right. They think it's normal behavior. They think all men do it.
Right.
But they don't.
No, they don't. And so I just think it's interesting to point out for the permanent record that all of these people that are claiming the moral high ground are out here. Bridget's out there scissoring. Matt's out there attempting against other people's will to schlap and tickle.
I know. Every time you say schlap, I think schlap and tickle.
He's out there slapping and tickling. Non-consensual. He's a predator.
Yeah.
And these are other members of the CPAC that are whistleblowing. And then the CPAC just
does nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Goes full-blown Catholic Church on the whole thing. And these people should not be in charge of jack fucking shit.
No.
And I really, really, really think more people need to hold Governor Kittenhill's feet to the fire on this thing. It's the chairman of the Republican Party in Florida, which is Christian, who's now accused of sexual assault. And it is she's a elected school board member who is out there doing all of this anti-gay shit, and she's doing gay shit.
Right.
And I will fight for her right to do gay shit.
I will too. I will support her in her right to do gay shit.
You can do gay shit, Bridget, but here's the deal. If you're going to be a hypocrite about it, we want to talk about your gay shit all the time. But Kittenhill needs to acknowledge that his attempts to bully the LGBTQIA plus community have failed spectacularly and release these people from all of the systemic and institutionalized bigotry that his state is legislating, starting with Bridget.
I agree. But if you're holding your breath, you're going to pass out soon. One thing I have noticed in recent years about the entire Republican situation is nobody apologizes for anything. Nobody takes any accountability. It's all, oh, you said I did that. Well, let me tell you what you did. It's projection out the kazoo. And I don't remember that back in the day. I think I'm sure there has been some of it, but it's just on magnify ever since the Trump years. Everybody thinks, don't be accountable, never admit anything, just go full ballistic and be mean and hateful, and people will follow you. And for some reason they do.
No, back in the day, the Republican Party was more passive aggressive.
Right.
They were passive about these aggressions. And I'm not saying either one is right. Now it's just aggressive. And Trump just brought out the worst
in everyone
of this political party. And this political party they act like they're so good at business, but every time there's a Republican president, the economy tanks.
And the deficit goes up by trillions of dollars.
Yes, it does. Well, listeners, this has been our take, the beginning of this week, about Schlapp and Tickle. Little Matt Schlapp and a non-consensual Tickle. And, Bridget and Christian were following the whole story.
Oh, yeah. We've got our eyes on you.
And some whippersnapper journalist really needs to start questioning Kitten Hill about this.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. He's awfully silent.
Why aren't his laws working?
I don't know. It's crazy.
They sure did make Bridget super gay. I think they're backfiring, honestly.
They're going the other way.
I think it's a backfire.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all we got. We will see you soon.